See, you have in chapter 3, project life cycle, Dr. Rudresha. I have completed diploma in mechanical engineering, B in mechanical engineering, and MTech in thermal power engineering, and PhD also in thermal power engineering. Today, I will start teaching. See, project management, general, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. See, this is the totally having 5 steps. Project management in first you have in initialization. See, look it here. First you have in initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. This is the project management. See, next time you go for that's very, very, very important project planning. See here, project planning. First, you have started here. See here, project planning. Project planning is a critical plus. Project planning. Project planning is a critical. Is a critical. Is a critical phase in project. In project management, management where where the project scope, the project scope, the project scope, the project scope, objectives, the project scope, comma, objectives, and approach, APP, ROACH, approach, are defined, are defined, defined, and a comprehensive, comprehensive plan delivered, plan developed, developed to guide, to guide the projects executions, 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 executions. See, this is the project planning. Project planning is a critical phase in project management where the project scope, objective, and approach are defined and a comprehensive plan developed to guide project execution. This is the project planning. Define the project objectives. See here, project define the project objectives. Clear architecture, clear architecture, clearly horticulture, horticulture, the goals, the goals, the goals, and objectives, objectives of the project, comma, what you want to achieve, what do you, what do you, what do you want to achieve, ensure, that the objectives, objectives of the project objectives are specific, comma, measurable, 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 comma, achievable, achievable, relevant, relevant, and time based, time based. See, this is the define. See, look it here. See, define the project objectives. What is meaning by project objectives? Clearly architecture the goals and objectives of the project. What you want to achieve. Ensure that the objectives are specific, measurable, and achievable, and relevant and time based. This is calling about project objectives. See, clearly architecture the goals of objective of the project, what you want to achieve. Ensure that the objectives are specific, measurable, and achievable, and relevant time based. Identify identify the project requirement. See, identify the project requirement, determine the specific, determine the specific, determine the specific, specific task, determine the specific task, deliverables, deliverables, and outcomes, outcomes required, required, required to meet the project objectives, objectives. See next, create work done, creative work breakdown structure. What is meaning by creative work breakdown down structure? See, creative work breakdown structure. Develop. See here. Develop a creative work breakdown structure. Develop a breakdown of the project, take task and deliverables. Start with the major project phases, the break them down into smaller and manageable work package. This provides a visible representation of the project scope and helps in the organizing and planning of project activities. This is the create a work breakdown structure. This is calling about create a work breakdown structure. See here, develop a project schedule. What is meaning by develop a project schedule? Create a timeline for um, create a timeline for create a timeline for the project by determining the sequence and duration of activities. See here, develop develop a develop a breakdown project, take tasks and deliverables. Develop a breakdown of a project, takes breakdown of project deliverables. Deliverables start with start with start with the major project. Start with the major project. Develop a breakdown of a project task and deliverables. See creative work breakdown structure. See, develop a historical breakdown of a project tasks and deliverables. Start with the major project. Start with the major project phases, phases, and and then and then breakdown structure, breakdown structure down into smaller, down into smaller, down into smaller, manageable, manageable work packages, work packages, work packages, work packages. This provide, this provide, this provides, this provides a visual representation, representation of the project, of the project scope and help this and help in organizing and planning project activities. See, allocate the resources. Allocate the resources. What is meaning by allocate the resources? Identify the resources required, complete each task, including personal equipment and material and budget. See, this is the assign the resources task based on availability, skills, dependencies. This is the allocate the resources. Develop the risk management plan. What is meaning by develop the risk management plan? See here, identify the uh, development the risk management plan. Identify the potential risk. Develop strategies to mitigate the respond to them. This is calling about develop the risk management plan. And next, establish the communication plan. Establish the communication plan means how communication will occur within the project team and with stakeholders. Determine our frequency, method, and channel of communication. Identify the stakeholder and their information need. Effective communication ensures that everyone is informed and engaged in the project. Establish the communication plan. What is meaning by establish the communication plan? Define how communication will occur within the project team with the stakeholders. See, develop a risk management plan. Develop a risk management plan. Identify the potential risk and develop the strategies to mitigate or respond to them. Access the likelihood, impact of each risk, and create the contingency plan. Regularly monitor and review the risk throughout the project life cycle. Establish the communication plan. See here, define how communication will occur with project team and stakeholders. See, this is one of important how. See how communication will occur within the project team and stakeholder, determine the frequency, method, and channel of communication, identify the key stakeholder and their information need, effective communication courses that everyone is informed and engaged in a project. Create a project budget. See, what is meaning by create a project budget? Estimate the cost associated with the project, including labor. See, that is very one of the important project. Create a project budget. See, estimate the cost associated with the project. Estimated the cost associated with the project, comma, including labor, comma, materials, equipment, and any other expense. Develop a budget, develop a budget, develop See, totally project plan and define the project objectives. You want to maintain the project objectives, or how many objectives is there. Identify the project requirement. Okay, identify the project requirement. Uh, Next, create the breakdown structure, develop a project schedule, allocate the resources, develop a risk management plan, establish the communication plan, define the quality assurance process. See here, define the project objectives, identify the project requirements, create a work breakdown structure, develop a project schedule, allocate the resources, develop a risk management plan, establish the communication plan, define the quality assurance. See, create a project budget, review and finalize the project plan. See here, project execution. What is meaning by project execution? First one is team mobilization. See, the first one that is very, very important. Team mobilization, task execution, project monitoring, managing the changes, risk management, stakeholder management, quality assurance, progress reporting, de- documentation, project closure preparation. See here, project execution that is very, very important. See, first one is team mobilization. Team mobilization, task execution. Third one, project monitoring, managing changes, risk management, stakeholder management, quality assurance, progress reporting, documentation, project closure preparations. See here, project execution, team mobilization. The first one is team mobilization. Second one is task execution. What is meaning by team mobilization? As the project execution begins, the project manager assemble the project team and communicates the project plan, objectives, rules and responsibilities. See here, the project execution phase, the project execution, execution, the project execution, comma, the project execution, the project execution phase begins, begins, comma, the project manager assemble, the project manager assemble the project team, the project team and communicate, communicate the project plan, the project plan, task execution. What is meaning by task execution? The project team members start executing their assigned task according to project plan. See the second one, task execution. What is meaning by task execution? See, project team member, project team members, project team members start executing their assigned task, their assigned, their assigned task, project team members, the project team members start execution their assigned task according to project plan, according to project plan. according to project plan. Next, project monitoring. What is calling about project monitoring? Project monitoring. Project monitoring. The project manager closely monitor the project monitor project monitoring. See next, that is very very important. You have in see project monitoring. See here afterwards, you look at here the project monitoring. The project manager clearly monitors the project manager manager the project manager closely closely monitor monitors 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 the project progress the project progress against 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 the defined defined schedule budget and quality standards. See next, managing changes. Next, managing changes. See what is calling about managing changes throughout the project execution phase. Changes may occur in project requirement, scope, and other factors. Okay. The project manager evaluates those changes and determines their impact on a project. If necessary, changes requirement are initiated and change the control process is followed to access visibility, risk, uh, and potential impacts of the proposed changes. Approved changes are incorporated into project plan, executed accordingly. Next, I will go for risk management. Risk management, the project manager continues to monitor the managed risk, identify during the project planning phases, the access effectiveness of risk mitigation of strategies, address new risk as rise, implement a contingency plan is if required, regular risk assessments and updated to risk management plan are important to ensure risk effectively managed throughout the project. Stakeholder management. What is meant by stakeholder management? You have an effective communication and engagement with the stakeholder. Quality assurance. What is meant by quality assurance? The project manager ensures the quality standard and process are followed during the project execution. This is the quality assurance. Next, progress reporting. What is meaning by progress reporting? The project manager prepare the regular progress report, update the stakeholder in project status, accomplishment, and any issues or risk. This is the project. Documentation. See here, documentation. Throughout the project, throughout the project execution phase, project execution phase, comma, the project manager, the manager, project manager start preparing, start preparing, start preparing start preparing project closer, project closer, project closer. This includes recording project decision, recording project decision, decisions, project closer preparation, towards towards the end of the project, end of the project, execution phase, execution phase, towards the end of project execution phase, comma, the project manager, the project manager, the project manager starts starts preparing starts preparing for project closure. See, this is the project closure preparation. See, this is the project execution. This project execution, team mobilization, task execution, project monitoring, managing changes, risk management, stakeholder management, quality assurance, progress reporting, documentation, project closure, preparation. These are all totally having 10 team mobilization, task execution, project monitoring, managing changes, risk management, stakeholder management, quality assurance, progress reporting, documentation, project closure, preparation. See, next I'll go for a project risk. There are scope creep, schedule risk, budget risk, resource risk, technical risk, stakeholder risk, quality risk, external risk, communication risk, legal and compliance risk. See here, next I'll be go for project risk. See what is calling about project risk. Project risk. Risk refers to the potential uh, events or circumstances that can have negative impact on a project objectives, deliverables, schedule, budget, and overall success. See, project refers to potential events and circumstances that can have to negative impact on a project objectives, deliverables, schedule, and budget. This is the project risk. See, scope creep. What is meaning by scope creep? Changes or additions to the project scope that are not properly managed that can lead to scope creep. This can result is delayed, increased the cost and difficulty in meeting the project objectives. Schedule risk. See factors such as poor planning, resource constraint, dependencies are unforeseen can schedule the risk. See budget risk. See what is meaning by budget risk? Inaccurate cost estimates, unexpected expenses, and resource overruns can lead to the budget risk. Resource risk. See what is meaning by resource risk? Inadequate and misallocated resources, including human resource equipment, material, can impact the project progress and deliverables. Technical risk. Technical risk. Project involving a project involving project involving project involving complex technology, complex technology, project involving complex technology, project involving complex technology, new methodologies and new methodologies, methodologies, new methodologies, technical risk, project involving complex technologies, new methodologies, may face technical task, may face a technical task, technical task, technical risk, comma, those risk includes include software, software, mm, software or hardware, hardware, payloads, payloads, compatibility issues, compatibility issues, or or lack of technical expertise, stakeholder risk. Stakeholder risk arise from the miscommunication. Quality risk. See here, uh, quality risk, insufficient quality control measures, inadequate testing, or lack of adherence to quality standards can lead to quality risk. This can result in a rework, customer classification, dissatisfaction, and compromised project outcomes. External risk. What is meant by external risk? External risk are factors behind the control of the project team. Those can include the changes in government regulations, natural disasters, economical fluctuations, or a political instability. Such risk can impact project timeline, cost, and the availability resources. Communication risk. See, ineffective communication and collaboration among the project members, stakeholders, vendor can result in the misunderstandings, delays, or poor decision making. Communication, legal and compliance risk. These are the project risks. These are all the project risks. See, types of risk, scope creep. Types of risk, first one is scope creep, cost risk, scope creep risk, technical risk, resource risk, regularity risk, external dependency risk, reputation risk, environmental risk, and security risk. See, in types of risk, total you have 10 risk is there. Scope creep, cost risk, scope creep risk, tech, technical risk, resource risk, regulatory risk, external dependency risk, reputation risk, environmental risk, security risk. Total you have in 10 risks. See, risk assessment and technical illustration, risk matrix, SWOT analysis. What is meant by SWOT analysis? See, SWOT analysis means strength, weakness, and opportunities and threatenings. See, SWOT analysis means the total name will be indicated strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Fault tree analysis. Fault tree analysis is a deductive technique used to analyze the causes of undesirable event or failure. That is the fault tree analysis. Hazard analysis and critical control point. See, hazard analysis and critical control points. The HACCP systematic approach used in including industries such as food manufacturing, identity and control potential hazard that could be compromise product safety. That is the risk assessment techniques and illustrations. See, project cost and risk analysis. Project cost and risk analysis identify the cost risk, quantify risk, perform the cost impact analysis, develop the mitigation strategies, monitor and control, update the cost estimate. These are all the points in project cost risk analysis, estimating the time and overrun risk, historical data analysis, risk management, quantitative and qualitative assessment, contingency planning, scenario analysis, expert judgment and benchmarking, ongoing monitoring and control, lessons learned and feedback loops. This is the estimating time and overrun risk. See next, organization, procedure and systematic reasons for project cost overruns, inadequate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, inefficient procurement and supplier management. Totally having 7 points. Organization, procedure, and systematic reason for project cost overruns, inadequate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, ineffective procurement and supplier management. Totally having 7 points. Time overruns, inaccurate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, inefficient procurement and supplier management, inadequate project governance, lack of lessons learned and knowledge management. Totally 9 points is there. Time overruns, inaccurate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, inefficient procurement and supplier management, inadequate project governance, lack of lesson learned and knowledge management. This is the time overruns. Thank you. These are all in your project planning. Project planning, define project objectives, identify the project requirements, create work breakdown structure, WBS. Work breakdown structure, develop a project schedule, allocate the resources, develop a risk management plan, establish the communication plan, define the quality assurance. C. Project execution, team mobilization, task execution, project monitoring, managing changes, risk management, stakeholder management, quality assurance, progress reporting, documentation, project closure preparation. See, project risk, scope creep, schedule risk, budget risk, resources risk, technical risk, stakeholder risk, quality risk, external risk, communication risks, legal and compliance risk, types of risk, scope creep, cost risk, scope creep risk, technical risk, resource risk, regularity risk, external dependency risk, reputation risk, environmental risk, and security risk. This is the types of risk. Risk assessment techniques and illustration, risk matrix, SWIFT analysis. SWIFT analysis means see, SWIFT analysis means strength, weakness, opportunities, and traits. That is the SWIFT analysis. Fault tree analysis. Fault tree analysis means that is in FTA. C and hazardous analysis and critical control points. Project cost risk analysis. Identify the cost risk, quality risk. Perform the cost impact analysis. Develop a mitigation strategies, monitor and control, update the cost estimate. Organization procedure and systematics, reason for project cost overruns, inadequate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, inefficient procurement and supplier management, time overruns, inaccurate project planning, poor project management, inadequate stakeholder management, weak change management, inaccurate cost estimation, ineffective risk management, inefficient procurement and supplier management, inadequate project governance, lack of lessons learned and knowledge management. This is the time overruns. Time overruns, inaccurate project planning, C. Inaccurate project planning, scope creep, inadequate resource management, dependencies and delays, ineffective project communication, inadequate risk management, insufficient project monitoring and control, inadequate stakeholder management, inaccurate estimation of task duration.